Hello, it's Mike Fardy, your Dungeon Mom. Before we get into this week's episode, I have a few wonderful people to thank. Our patrons. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Yes, I will. Skylar Flowers, Ryland Command, Chris Ice, Dylan Pilgrim, and Hudson Miles. To me, you are happy little birds, singing songs and seeking shade in the tree's canopy. Christopher Dunn, Ian Ford, Gullatice, Matthew Smets, and Miri Rain. You're all early morning flowers, collecting dew and waiting for the sun to dry you off. Michael Polad, Jason Campbell, Michelle White, Noreen Elizabeth, and Robert Andrews. Bees! David Forsey, Cheryl N., Chelsea Dabb, and Shell Scott. You four are crammed in an ice cream truck, careening through a suburb, being chased by hungry children. Beware! And thank you all for continuing to support our podcast. It really means the world to us. But enough of that. On to the episode. Making your way through this, there's a bunch of things that you can see on your map. So the closest sort of attraction to you is the night market. Which, like, as you're moving through, you can see that it is probably the least friendly market you've ever been to. You're used to people trying to sort of reach out and get you to come to their stalls. As you are walking through, everyone who is at their stalls, it's not immediately obvious what they're selling. And they are sort of glaring at you as you walk through. Anyone who's having hushed conversations as you make your way through the night market, they stop as you are approaching and just kind of watch, and then you hear them sort of hushed speaking as you continue past.
I like nod and smile and wave at pretty much all of them.
And yeah, like, no, you don't get any response. Or actually, well, make a charisma check.
Oh god,
just like a flat charisma.
Oh no, okay. Oh, hold on. What do I add to charisma? Let me just open this character sheet. That 37.
I just looked at my gold for the first time since I bought that puppy, and I was like, "How much can I buy?
No.
2,600 gold."
yeah. You all got your payout, right?
That is a flat 10.
Oh, flat 10. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, you look at a guy who is sitting there, and he has a bunch of like kind of old-looking vegetables just like hanging on strings around him, and he stabs an onion with a dagger and takes a bite out of it without breaking eye contact with you.
I hold it. Do they water?
No.
Oh.
Well, I should roll.
This is playing the game, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I think, Ben is just standing next to you looking at me. He's like, you can cook those.
He got a 2, so he throws up. Like, if you hadn't held his gaze, he would have held onto it until you were gone. But yeah, he just fully, like, barfs.
Well, there you go, Ben. That's establishing dominance.
Wow, okay. You can, next time, cook. You can cook that first. Maybe you won't be so embarrassed. Okay.
This shady night market, does this seem like the kind of place that like people could just go missing while walking through it in the middle of the night or day? Like lots of flapping cloth around that people could just like dragged into the darkness and never seen again?
Yes,
Question.
absolutely.
Question.
Yes.
Is there any...
I was almost done answering that question. Let's move on to the next.
Oh, this is just silly. Just silly.
We need to get our foolishness out.
Any thieves' cant around?
Oh, make a perception check.
Question. Any spell merchants around? Any gem?
I got a 15.
Sorry, you didn't say question before you spoke.
Juggle.
So I'm gonna. So I'll say, like, in this area, like what you're looking at is, it's a bunch of like flapping cloth. It is a bunch of cloth that look like they could rapidly be taken down. Tents in this area. With a 15 star, you see, like, all up and down these streets, there are also street lamps. So, like, in terms of day and night, in other parts of Mox the Rain, in sort of like the center of most like quarters, there is like a big light that simulates day and night cycle outside. But the Ashes doesn't have that. In the Ashes, it is always lit by street lights. So they do have like street lamps that seem to be either magic or some sort of tinkering that keeps them lit all the time. The night market, like every third or fourth one of those lamps is out inexplicably, creating these like dark, shadowy pockets. And above you is, instead of like the mesh of another layer, so on most of them you look up and you can sort of see the ceiling of every ring is the floor of the ring above it. But where you're at the top now, it is just a twisting labyrinth of piping. And all of these pipes are making their way into like a hole that has been drilled up through the mountain, which just extends into the darkness. And all of the ash is falling out of cracks in those pipes, which is just constantly falling like snow. For Thieves' Cant, you do see that all of the stands have a marking in them. All of them are marked. It is not immediately, with a 15, it's not immediately clear what they are marked for, but you recognize it in similar ways that you used to see in Pralia. Kids would kind of run around and mark stores to say, like, this person's going to rip you off, or this person is going to give you a good price, or, you know, haggle here, don't haggle here. This guy's
Giant
got a knife behind
keys
the
for
bar.
only 25 cents.
Yeah. And so this particular Thieves' Cant reminds you of that, but you're not sure what the cipher is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the type of people in this night market, they seem like the type of people that, like, it'd probably take 15 or 16 of them to go missing before the community finally rallied in outrage to make the cops do something.
You have a feeling that people who go missing in the Ashes don't often get looked for.
Okay.
That's the vibe you're getting from this ring in particular.
Okay.
If there were to be some sort of ripper, say, who was existing in this area, or who suddenly popped up for no reason, you have a feeling that they'd go on quite a spree here before anything was done about it.
Yeah.
Quite a
Right.
brie. Quite a brie here.
Death row rising.
Good to know. Just getting a sense of, like, the surroundings that we live in and the kind of things that might go on there.
Any food around?
Oh, lots.
Shopping. It's all around us, shopping.
There are a couple of like produce, nothing like cooked though. I would say with a 15 perception check, you can smell food, but every stand you look in doesn't seem to be selling it.
Do you think they're hiding the food from us?
What? Why?
No.
Oh, Bree, I don't mean people. I mean, like, cooked food. I can smell things.
He's quite a lot around. You'd like me to look for it? And Bree starts sniffing, following her nose.
Yeah, sure. Make a survival check.
17.
17. I think it leads you to one of the largest tents there, a large purple tent that is not just a stand, but actually has like an entrance, and you can see that there are several shops inside. Moving through the front door, or looking through the front door, you can see that there are a bunch of stands with a bunch of people all glaring at you as you come up to the door. And you see in there is a drow on the other end with all their pointed ears are just like filled to the brim with silver earrings. And they have their arms crossed and they're just like, we're closed.
Okay, is much food in here for sale, no?
None.
I can smell many food.
You're mistaken.
I am not mistaken. I have very good nose. I assure you, there is food in here. If you do not know about it, it is concerning. You may get rat problem.
Lots of problems with rats in the ashes.
Oh?
Yeah.
They are coming and eating food. They are trouble.
Yeah, they're sticking their noses where they don't belong.
Well, then he's easy to catch and make more food then if you are running low.
I'm telling you to leave. They're not getting it.
And Brady just kind of like looks confused behind her at the rest of the group coming into the tent. I have found food, but they are saying we have to leave.
What seems to be the matter here, officer?
What?
What's the matter? Why would you not like to sell your wares to us?
We're closed. As I told your friend there, we're closed.
Yeah,
when do you open again?
I don't know. Check back tomorrow. Or never.
Strange way of doing business.
Yeah. We have our ways.
I get the impression this guy doesn't like us.
I turn around. I was like, "This sounds like one of those money laundering schemes." Let's step outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, some communities are pretty closely knit, and it takes a little while to get a new thread in there.
It might just be a headquarters for a local criminal organization, and they simply have to pretend to be a business for hiding their funds.
Well, they are cooking much food in there. There is no question.
Food and books, most likely.
Have the impression that maybe it's not about, their particular issue, but everybody's particular issue with us.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Maybe there's a membership card or something.
Yeah, I think Ben might be right. I think everybody hates us.
But they don't know us.
Yes, I think that's the point.
We'll grow on them.
We always do. Let's head to the Skewered Noble and purchase our paperwork, and perhaps the folks there will be able to point us in the right direction to how to establish ourselves in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so making your way out of the night market, I think, like, as you're walking, Bree, you catch several more sniffs of food. And I think you start to make the connection that it is coming through, like, grates, like sewer grates in the ground. Moving up to the north, you come into kind of like a tight cluster of homes and it looks like closed down, mostly like dilapidated businesses. You see a lot of graffiti in this area, with a picture of 3 crowns like you saw on Galeri's necklace. But in this case, they are crossed out with a big KR. One of the buildings that is untouched is a seedy-looking inn with a swinging side showing a noble with a bunch of swords through their stomach as you come up to the entrance of the Skewered Noble.
These look like nice place.
Yeah, charming spot, no?
It's like a place full of ghosts.
Oh, on the other plane, you mean?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, you're right. It is like that.
I hope this time I do not lose body.
I wonder if we're going to run into, what was her name? The ghost under the mansion.
Benjamin's friend.
Yes.
Oh, of course. Old Millie. Millie the ghost. I'm 75% sure it was Millie the ghost.
Yeah, that sounds correct.
I know. I haven't seen her since the ghost tavern on the ethereal plane.
Yes, indeed.
Oh.
That's what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
I step inside.
Yeah. You reach for the door, and it actually swings out, almost hitting you. As you see, like, bending under the door frame and stepping out a huge bronze automaton with 4 arms and a featureless bronze face. One of its arms is extended behind it and holding on to the wrists of a dwarf as they step out, followed by a dwarf wearing city officials' robes. And it just, as it stands out, it says, "Excuse me, stand aside."
Oh,
Out of the way.
excuse us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you see this dwarf has a, like, metal plate over their mouth and nose, and are just, like, pretty quickly dragged away as the dwarf steps out behind and just says, "Oh, very sorry. We're just clearing this place out of a bit of the riffraff. Enjoy your night."
What did this one do?
This one, we found, is involved with the silver scale. Or, sorry, the weighted scale.
I don't know what that is.
We're new to the city. Don't have much of an idea about city politics yet.
Yeah, we're just, staying on this level just for the night. Thought we'd see a little few of the sights.
Ah, yes, one of the tourists from below come to see the Pallid Keep, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, well, then turns around and looks at the huge green gas cloud on the other side of the ring, and he says, "Well, yes, this will be cleaned up soon, so no need to worry. But of course you're not from here."
Duly noted.
And yes, when it comes to the weighted scale, it's best to keep yourself ignorant to them. Should any information come up on them, the only thing that you should do is report it immediately to a city official.
And Mike, I have the weighted scale written in my notebook from the last session, but I don't remember
Yuri
what you told us about it.
Yeah, so the weighted scale is who Yuri is currently trying to sell your immortal throne to.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They are they're a black market
Yeah. Okay.
smugglers. Yeah.
Did I forget?
Okay.
Did I? Yeah, I forgot to remove curse on that, didn't I?
That's their problem.
That's
you gotta
their
pay a
problem.
premium for that.
The curse was the point. The curse is the expensive part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Otherwise, it's just a chair. A nice chair.
Nice.
Horrifying looking chair, but a chair.
A spooky chair.
Nightmare-inducing chair.
Perfect for a
it's
giant
a
palace
nightmare-
of necromantic fog.
Yeah, it's actually a nightmare-inducing table we have that goes with the chair.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, well, have a good night, officer.
Yes, you as well. And walks off following this tick, which is holding on to the dwarf as they make their way off into the haze of the ash.
My insight, would I have picked up that it was actually an officer or not?
No, you can see that they balked at that a little bit as being quite a bit under their payroll.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That was a kind of a slight that they forgave, is what you see.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that was our contact for papers?
That's entirely likely, yes. We could still step inside and ask around.
Yeah, so stepping inside, the air is just like thick with haze. You see a bunch of people smoking increasingly comically large pipes around the edges of the room. All of them, again, all of the tables are seated so that they are perfectly out of the small amount of light that lights this dingy bar. All of the lanterns basically illuminate nothing or empty tables. Everybody is sitting in the shadows. And you can feel their eyes on you as you step in. But the conversation does start to pick up a little bit as you're hearing mumbles of, "Old Brainer, oh, Poor guy. I hope he gets out. At least he didn't attract the watch. And at the bar, you can see that there is a cube-esque orc, about as wide as he is tall, just sort of staring out the door past you angrily, as he just like switches a cigar from one side of his mouth to the other, and throws a rag over his shoulder. And he says, step on in. Trouble's gone now.
Yeah, thank you. Just Star just goes up and sits and takes a seat at the bar.
What do you have?
Pint of whatever.
Very good.
I would like one of the stabbed people on sign.
Wouldn't we all?
Yes.
She'll have a large portion of whatever meat you have.
Oh, yeah, very good. Yeah, we've got something that might fit your type.
Do you carry Bastilian rye?
And you, like, a knife, like, hits the bar next to you from the other side of the room, and he's like, oh, we don't carry much of the fancy stuff with the name and all.
Oh, well, whatever's closest.
I'll also have something to eat. Whatever's good.
Okay, very good. What about the kid? And that guy?
I'll have a water, please.
And some food. He's growing.
And some food.
You don't want to get wasted off that water. You need like a good meal down there to soak up all the hydrogen.
Ben does not look thrilled about eating here. It's a dubious glance at their health and safety thing. It's got a health and safety inspector's ear stabbed in the middle of the.
Oh yeah, it's holding up it's a nail actually through the ear that is holding up a sign that expired like easily 5 years ago. Yeah, it's so the strangest part is why they even keep it up.
There's a rat just nibbling on the corner of the paper.
Anything for you, Rowan?
Well, I've got a hankering for some mashed potatoes. Now, I don't know where it's coming from, but I could use a plate of mashed potatoes.
Oh, yeah, we got mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
It's
great.
easy enough.
Great. Coffee? Do you have coffee?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, mashed potatoes and coffee. That's what I am looking for.
What a weird combo.
He's like, oh, no judgment here.
It was a great time.
And he turns around. You get a bunch of really, like, weirdly silty ales. Is for everybody who doesn't really care what they were getting. He does bring out a almost like a scotch for you, Valen, and sort of lays it down. He's like, this is the fanciest thing they let me carry before they start smashing everything. So I don't know if you want some of that.
That'll do nicely, thank you.
Okay, very good. And yeah, a bunch of like gravy-soaked pies come out of the kitchen.
Rat pie.
And then
rat pie. Rat pie.
If we're lucky.
And yeah, mashed potato and coffee come out for you, Rowan.
Both steaming.
And yeah, the last thing to come out, strangely enough, is a cup of water. And he lays it down like very gingerly on the table in front of you.
Thank you.
So after Star takes a sip from the silty ale and grimaces as it goes down, he leans over. He just says, we just moved into the neighborhood and we were looking for some registration papers. If you know what I'm saying. Do you know where we would maybe pick some of those up and would like to persuade?
Yeah, do a persuasion. Yeah, you can see that he gets nervous when you're just sort of saying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, make a persuasion check.
If this is, I mean, I know you might not know. Maybe this is like the official offices or somewhere else, right? But just asking. 19.
19. He says, "Oh yeah, of course I don't know completely, but well, I can at least show you where to get registration papers down in the vaults. You'll just have to, maybe if all of you would like to step into the back where I keep my map, I can point it out.
Yes.
Oh, that is good. We do not have map. They are meant to nail one to our door soon.
Oh yeah, they'll do that pretty quick.
Okay, yeah, it sounds good.
Is
We
this
don't need to all. We
potatoes?
don't. But and like Star looks around. We don't need to all come in. Maybe just myself and one other friend. Maybe Bree. Would you like to come with?
What are we doing?
Shrugs, like completely unaware of what has been happening this entire time. Like, and backs you up as some muscle.
And then and then
hands you back the deed again.
yeah, and then Star like looks at Rowan, just kind of like being like, in hopefully a knowing glance, like the kind like just like eh.
You know, Star, I think this is lemon zest in the potatoes. You want to try some of this? I have never had lemon zest in potatoes before. This is something.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Star looks a little bit dejected, and then just goes into the back room.
Yeah, before he goes out, the bartender does kind of like lean in and give them a sniff, and then looks a little bit concerned for a second, and then just goes into the back.
I think just as Star is walking away from the table, Ben's just gonna like grab the edge of his jacket or whatever, and just kind of like glance at the bartender and then whisper like, maybe we should do this the lawful way. It's only 500 gold a month. That should last us at least a full season
Who did he say this to?
of the show. Yeah, I say this to you.
Oh, yeah, and like Star just like takes his hand and just takes Ben's hand off his coat and just like winks at him and then goes in the back.
Okay.
Okay, and Bree, you're going as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so...
And Star's gonna ready in action just in case someone's like tries to mug him or something. He's like, he goes in the back room.
I figure, as we pass by like a shadowy table, Bree just like leans over and kind of growls at them for no particular reason. It just seems like the appropriate way to fit in this place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you actually catch someone who was leaning out of the light to do the same to you. They just come out like this orc with huge tusks and scars all over his face. So just do an intimidation check.
Or a kiss.
Or low kiss.
Not great. 11.
Yeah, so the two of you are just kind of like, and he, like follows your gaze all the way into the, but like as you go in, kind of gives you a little nod.
Yeah, okay.
As you step into the back room. In the back room, you see immediately you are not in danger of being mugged. You can see every inch of this room. If one more of you had come in here, it would be unbearably close. It is insane that he asked all of you to come back. It is so small. And he, sort of squishes himself in behind this little tiny writing desk and then just starts like shimmying himself down into it. And very like gingerly takes out a little, like a couple of pens and a little inkwell and sits down, and he just says, okay, well, obviously that was a lie what I said outside. We do the fake forms in here, but with the ticking all coming in, we think there might be some kind of mole or rat or something out there. I don't know who's telling on people.
Oh.
So we had to put up that good guys because, the wall's heavy is and all that.
Got it. No worries. I knew you were lying. I was, when I was doing the thing where you say the thing but you don't mean the thing.
Right. Oh, so you don't expect a map in here?
No, I do. No, I do want the thing, but
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And he takes and he just starts like scribbling onto a sheet of paper, and you can see that like he has beautiful calligraphy as he like hand draws the sign of the city that would normally like represent their notary. He hand draws it fairly quickly and starts like making his way down through all the jargon.
Star's gonna try and butter him up a little bit, like he's gonna like just gonna be like, "Oh wow, you're really good at this."
Oh, thank you. My aspiration was always to be a scribe. I thought there was something romantic about it, where someone would come and tell you their stories, and then you made them permanent.
That's a really beautiful story. Oh my god, have you ever written someone's story? Oh, let me tell you, I got stories like will you write down my stories?
well, I mean, that coming from a tabaxi, that means a lot. I've actually learned a lot of this romance.
I have so many good ones.
Oh, you must, because your whole culture, right, is built around stories and bringing them up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the historical stories are incredible, but just the things that I've seen over the past year on the travel from Pralia to here.
One time he got swallowed by giant eel. Fought his way back out from inside the belly. Is very interesting.
I killed that eel
and
too.
You can see that his writing has gone off course now and is just writing down what you're saying. He's like, no, I've got to start again.
I'm sorry.
Then he just like takes the sheet of paper and lays it aside and takes out a new one and starts again.
Yeah. So I don't know how to turn this. Like, I want to turn this into like a make us charge less than a 150 butter up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, that's what this kind of like buttering is for, to try and like, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So while they're like finishing that up, as I think he ruins like 3 in the process of that because he just is so enthralled with you telling him things.
I don't know if you want me to roll like a charisma check or something.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna do this back there, we'll do. You can do either persuasion or performance, I suppose.
I'll do persuasion because it's higher. Not very good. 12.
12? Okay. So outside while this is taking place, what is everyone else doing in the bar?
I've got my ears peeled for gossip. I'm listening to stuff about those kids, but also this old brainer that we picked up on the way in as well, and just listening for gossip.
Oh yeah, okay. Make a perception check. And what about everyone else?
How's the scotch?
It's surprisingly okay. Like it's a completely middle of the road scotch, but for a place like this, you have a feeling you're quite lucky. There is a lot of coughing happening, and it seems to be whenever anyone takes a sip of anything.
Forgot how much I add to this. So I rolled really well. That's a 30.
30, okay.
Forgot how well he does on those.
Oh man, and Kara's just eating so that like it can look like we're busy, so Rowan can listen harder.
It looks like I'm looking through the potatoes for lemon zest, but I've got my ears peeled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Ben is, I think, picking at his pie and hasn't really touched his water after the first sip, and is overtly people watching and looks uncomfortable.
Okay. Do you want to do a perception as well then?
Sure.
For looking at things?
17.
Cool. So, Rowan, you... and you're looking for stuff about the kids and stuff about Brainer?
Stuff about Brainer. Anything that is juicy. So, okay, let's do this in order. So, kids first. Realistically, anything about the Council of Azuth. And then after that would be Old Brainer and like other just like tidbits to file away.
Okay. So you definitely don't hear anything about the Council of Azuth.
I didn't expect to, yeah.
You can see that there is, like, through piercing the darkness with your 30 perception check.
Yeah.
You see over in the corner there is a shopkeep sort of sitting there angrily and just saying,
I mean, it looks like the front of my place is abandoned, but it's not actually abandoned. And those friggin' kids keep coming by, tagging it all over the sides of it. They love smashing all the windows and stuff like that. I don't know where they get stuff like that. Let me tell you, I'll be happy when that sting comes down on their head. I think they're really cracking down on those kids. Any time now, and that whole resistance is getting crushed. I hear they're zeroing in on the hideout.
In terms of Old Brainer, you just hear somebody talking to him like, I mean, I'm just glad it wasn't me, honestly. I'm just glad it wasn't me. We're both in just as deep in this whole business. And let me tell you, whoever ratted him out, they're going to have hell to pay with the scales once they figure it out. I'll tell you, I would take jail over that kind of justice any day. And Ben, I think the most interesting thing you notice is you see a couple of people in religious garb sitting in the corner, like very clearly religious. And you can make a religion check.
12.
12. You don't recognize where they're from, but all of them are sitting at a table together, completely silent. And they are eating, and you can see that they're looking at one another as if having an unspoken conversation. And they have these like tall blue hats, and their mouths are covered with fabric, so just their eyes are visible. You can see that their robes have like a built-in armor where they have like a single pauldron on one side that's quite pointy. They have several chains hanging around their neck, and
When you say tall blue hat, are they like top hats or wizard hats?
Pope
like
hats?
a
Like a cardinal's head?
they're like a cardinal's hat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great big Pope hat.
They just look really like stern and emotionless. You can see that their chains have like a skeletal hand holding scales.
Hey, Valen,
Yes, Ben.
do you recognize those guys? Their outfits? They're pretty wild looking. They look kind of like priests or something.
Yeah, if I do a
Clerics.
religion check, I got an 11.
So no, you don't recognize the religion.
Sorry, that I'm not familiar with their particular order.
They don't really fit in here, do they?
No, it does seem odd.
Looking around, does it look like anyone else finds them strange?
Not really. Like in this place, it is a pretty mixed bag of people who are in here. A lot of like real tough customers. So their just constant scowl kind of fits in with the general mood of the place.
Yeah, it's a real mind your own business establishment.
Yeah.
Would there be a way to read their body language to get a sense if they're tense or if they're at ease in this space? Like if they're here to like keep an eye on something kind of tense, or do you think I'd be able to pick up on that in their body language, or probably not if they're all
I think
robed
just
up?
looking at them, you can tell that they are they're really only interested in each other. They're definitely not like scanning the room and looking at people. They're quite involved with just whatever they are doing at the table.
And their mouths are covered, yes, no lip reading. Okay.
And yeah, you can't even hear like whispers coming from that area, even with your 30 perception
okay.
check. Like these people kind of, because you were mostly listening, like escaped your gaze even.
Yeah.
Back in the back, I think the bartender is about to finish up, and so Star has been talking his ear off. Bree, what have you been doing? Is there anything you want to do to try to affect this?
I imagine based on the layout of this room, Bree has effectively entered into a squat using her tail as like a third pillar and is kind of forming a chair for Star and is like equally squished around Star, like this orc is squished around the table, just in this tiny little broom closet of a room. And Bree is trying really hard not to knock anything over. And it's definitely a few times just kind of leaned down to Star like, what are we doing?
Yeah, Star's just like, don't worry about it. I'll tell you later.
yeah. That's just like interjects every now and then. Like I'm very confused, but yeah.
Yeah, and when he's finished up, I don't know if he's finished up, but when he's finished up, I also want to ask him about the night market.
Yeah, so he does finish. You see him swirl a big, elaborate signature. And as he does, he's like really concentrating on the swirls of it as he goes, to the point that like a drip of sweat comes off his forehead and he catches it with his other hand before it hits the paper, and kind of like sighs and then takes out a wax seal. And as he's applying it, he's like, well, that's finished up.
Wow,
So that's
beautiful work.
Oh, thank you very much.
Actually, let me ask you a question. When we were walking over here, we walked through this night market. Seemed like a pretty unwelcoming place, if you catch my drift.
They said they had a real rat problem, same as you.
Oh, were they? They was talking about that, was they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, best be careful in that area. I see by the deed here that you're living in the ashes now. So from one asher to another, the night market's a dangerous place. For those who aren't involved in the more unsavory side of things.
Ah. Okay, makes sense. Well, and then Star gathers up the papers if they're ready. Thank you very much for your help. And he's gonna put down not 150 but 175. And he's like, and just a little bonus to help maybe garner in appreciation of your talent.
And he looks down at that and he says, well, okay, that's a bit above my friends and family rate.
No worries. We can we'll be through it sometime other time.
Very good. Well, it was a pleasure. Welcome to the ashes. And yeah, kind of hands over the papers, takes the gold, and he says, if you're interested in the night market, maybe the surface part of it isn't the best part to check.
What would be?
I would say the best course of action is if your eye is drawn to it, avoid it. Go to the places around the edges where maybe people wouldn't necessarily wander. Again, be careful, and obviously you didn't hear it from me, but yeah, stick to the edge of the ring.
Got it. Thank you for the tip. And have a lovely evening.
Is it evening? And he kind of starts trying to squeeze himself out from behind the desk.
Yeah, I start trying to squeeze myself out from behind the stair.
Yeah, just head back and rejoin.
The pies aren't bad.
Yeah, let me tell you, the deed's not bad either. We are fully registered.
Okay.
Well done, Star. Well done, Bree.
Yeah.
Will we need it
Anything?
again next month?
Well, it's likely to.
Yeah, he comes back around the corner. He's like, yeah, you will. Oh, but also, shush. Walls.
Of course.
Anything else in the neighborhood that you suggest we should check out or learn about if we're to make our living here or set up shop?
Oh, well, some interesting things, I suppose. The, you checked out the Ninth Circle?
No, what is that?
Might be good for your friend there, pointing at Bree. It's local fighting pits. You can make a bit of quick money in there. And if you just like watching, there's also lots of money to be made on the betting. They got a casino. It's pretty neat.
That sounds very interesting.
Are we allowed to bet on our friends? Like, if Bree went in, could we bet on her?
Of course.
Sounds like easy money.
And what exactly is going on with the Pallid Keep and that giant necromantic cloud?
Yeah, it seems like someone's been messing around with the dead. Weakened up area between some sort of plane of dead people. They all started coming through. So now the Bolton Watch had to get involved.
Can I do an Arcana check on a plane of dead people?
Yeah, sure.
This sounds like the kind of thing that will just sort itself out if we don't get involved.
Oh yeah.
Leave it to the professionals.
17.
17, yeah. He's probably talking about the ethereal plane.
Okay.
So it seems like maybe somebody weakened a barrier between the ethereal, which is not crazy hard to do. Like, lots of spells do that on an individual level. But he says, yeah, they, I guess they was messing around, and now that big castle's over there. It's all guarded by ghosts and spookies and all that.
What was the Pallet Keep before?
It was a neighborhood. I think it had some, a lot of the warehouses down there. I know it was a big trading spot for some of the smugglers.
Oh, okay.
Rowan's got his kind of fiddling with teak, the crystal under his shirt. Does it feel like it's hot or responding at all?
It does not. No.
Okay.
And I asked the bartender, you wouldn't happen to know if Kefren Stone Shaper is still at business?
Let's find out. Oh, yeah. That's funny. I haven't heard from him in quite some time. But yeah, you can find him down in the anvil.
Okay, so he's still in his old place.
Yes, yeah, still in the same spot. He's still, shipping out all that good stuff. He comes up here every once in a while, actually. It's quite nice to see him. There's a lot of nicer spots on the route, so I think it's just for the sheer pleasure of it.
Yes, he can be quite a bit of fun.
Well, if you do see him, tell him hi for me.
And we didn't catch your name.
I'm Trevor.
Nice to meet you, Trevor.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's a
It's
pleasure.
nice to meet you all as well.
Real pleasure, Trevor.
Honestly, you're the first friendly face we've met since arriving in Mox Thorane.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people here, they're very busy, and they don't have much time to look and smile anymore. I hear they say that the steam melts the smile off of even the hardest of faces here, so...
Well, I'm at least glad it hasn't melted off yours.
No. And then he smiles, but you can see, like, cracks of ash, like, flake off of his face from where he hasn't smiled in quite a long time.
Yeah, maybe don't do that. Well, is everyone ready to go?
Yep.
Yes, thank you for your hospitality, Trevor.
Yes, of course, and I believe your meals and drinks have already been covered.
Oh,
Oh,
I think
I look at Star.
Yeah, Star just like nods and smiles.
Well, Ben, you have not finished pie.
no. Do you want it, Bree?
You should eat. It is important for a growing child.
I don't know what this vegetable, any of these vegetables are. I can't recognize them by sight
I
or
think
taste.
I think that one looks like turnip.
Does it?
I think
And
so.
Ben like limply pokes like a piece of
deflates.
something around his plate.
Yeah, and then, like, a thing you thought was a parsnip, like, gets up and runs away. Just, like,
okay.
6 legs burst out of it. It just runs up the wall.
Okay, for extra protein. No, thank you, Bree. You can have that. We can maybe catch and eat a rat. I would prefer right now. But
If you think you are getting anything else to eat when you are giving up this food, you are in for sore surprise, young man.
Bree, I'll be fine. I'll be okay. Maybe Kara can. Maybe I could have a good berry later.
Maybe Bito could get you something.
Bitos. Yeah. Yes. Maybe. We should go. There's something wrong with your water. Okay. Bye.
I'm sure your water's fine.
And like Ben like lifts it up and shakes the glass, and it's just like a snow globe. And then just he looks at you and like kind of nods and puts it down.
Yeah, and you see him pick it up, and he kind of sniffs it and takes a swig. He's like, "Oh, it tastes all right to me." I'll put it back in the bucket.
I think it's just
Ben's face falls.
Oh man.
Yeah, where to next?
Tell you, I'm gonna
As soon
remember
as
this
we-
meal.
Yeah.
You know
As
what
soon
I
as
mean?
we
I'm gonna talk about it every week.
as soon as we step outside and get a little bit of distance away from the thing, Star like says in kind of a like low talking, but not like necessarily whispering. Like, well, our friend Trevor, he let me know that if we are interested in the night market, we should not go to where the eye is drawn. Rather, we should search around the edges.
When we were leaving, I noticed more smell is not coming from tents, but below tent.
There's apparent. It seems that there's more than meets the eye to that thing. Also, that it's an extremely dangerous place, and we should probably avoid it. But in any case, he seems like a good friend, and seems like an honorable man. And in case we ever need something, he seems to be a good person to have in our pocket.
Yes, I'm very grateful that we've encountered him. It will be helpful to have someone like him in the ashes. If there's nothing pressing, I would very much like to go check in on an old friend. Perhaps I could take one or two of you to head down to the anvil.
I could still use some. I could use a walk.
When you say take one or two of us, do you mean?
I don't want to show up with a huge group.
But you want backup?
Just in case. Yes.
I can go.
How well known are you in the business circles of Mox Lorraine?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't mean to brag. Well, you know, how well known is anybody? No, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Will they recognize you down there?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is a wisdom.
Overcoming your ego to maybe say no.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna wisdom roll this. I feel like this is an insight check on myself. I got a 10.
Oh.
Right down the middle.
No, frankly, they're probably all going to recognize me.
Well, then, sorry, but perhaps it's best that you not accompany me. I'm going to go incognito.
No. Well, I mean, I don't know exactly how well I hide, but, I'll give you some backup if that's what you need.
Yeah, if that's all right, perhaps Rowan, Kara, you could accompany me, and I'm going to cast... Well, how long does it take to get down to the anvil? I don't want to waste too much of this spell.
So you really just have to make your way. Going down is quite easy because you're going to get that feather fall if you just jump off a bridge.
Right.
So getting down there would be quite easy. I would say, like, just getting yourself over to the edge, like, maybe 25 minutes to get down to the anvil itself.
Okay, then I'll wait to cast the spell. Oh my god.
Are we near the edge? Like, are we having this conversation, like, looking down over the edge, like, maybe hanging out near a railing, like, with all the city laid out below us?
Yeah, I mean, you're not too far from there, right? It's just on the other side of the night market again, to the center.
Oh.
But we can just be there if that's
A little
like,
walk and talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pushed the three of them over the edge.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, looking down through, you can see that as it goes down, there's more and more traffic on, like, moving through the center of the city again, you can see, griffins and some like ornithopters flying around, like bringing cargo and mail and stuff, all sorts of like birds. As you're
Okay,
looking
so
down.
I have to interrupt you now. What is an ornithopter? We all have
it's like
to
a
know.
little. It's a little fantasy helicopter.
Okay.
Like a one-person helicopter.
Like
Yeah.
Leonardo
Like
da
the guy
Vinci,
from
right?
Mad Max.
The guy from Mad Max.
It's the second Mad Max. There's like a crazy professor person with a weird helicopter.
Whirly bird, I think he calls it.
Oh,
Whirly
yeah,
bird,
yeah. I think they're in Waterworld too. I think the little weird.
Yeah, little like personal, like dwarfy gnomey looking, single occupancy, or I guess
Almost
they're
seem bicycle powered almost.
Yeah.
No. Well,
Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Yeah. That's the Leonardo da Vinci's, the winged machine. That's pretty cool too.
So they all look something like that. Some of them have like little domed enclosures that people are sitting in. Some of them are very obviously just like magic or wind powered, and some of them are like spewing out smoke and sparks as they go.
Very cool.
This one's just
And yeah, I
covered
mean
with a
you're
bunch of
looking down on
bats.
kind of a big. Sorry.
I said this one's just covered with a bunch of bats.
Yeah. It's one person screaming, being carried around by bats. Because you are looking down on the Luthic ring now on the jungle, so it's just kind of a stretch of green below you. Very, very strange.
If there's like a small pebble, I'd like to just drop it off the edge. Like Ben is kind of like leaning on a railing, and if I drop like a piece of debris off it, does it fall straight or does it slow as well?
It also slows, yeah.
That's a good safety feature.
Yeah. You can see the side of every ring is covered in memorial plaques of people who were killed by pennies. Before they increase the enchantment to include objects.
People just turn upside down in midair. Their pockets just rain death on everyone below them.
Yeah, so if Kara and Rowan are ready to join me, I'll look to the others and say, will I find you back at the house, or are you looking for other lodging tonight?
Hey, we'll meet you back at lair later, yes.
I think that
was
it's
gonna-
our house, and I think that we need to put our flag, so to speak.
Yeah, it's our house, smack dab in the middle of our street.
Exactly. I agree. I think spending a night there is the best way to start to win over the home.
We will see you there in a few hours.
Okay, well, good luck. Let us know if you need some help.
Yes, I'll send a message if things get dicey. I don't suspect that would be the case.
Should we have code names for the different teams we're splitting into? I think you should be Team Nerds.
Nice
High
band.
five.
Yeah, high fives, high fives.
Well, I, for one, take nerd as a
Pushes him off the
compliment.
edge.
Yeah, his underwear gets caught on the edge and he gets wedgie. Thank you for listening to another episode of Wonders and Blunders. Ben was played by Mitchell Bradbury. Bree was played by Kieran Dyke. Kara was played by Kate Clark. Rowan was played by Andy Woolridge. Star was played by Robert. And Valen was played by Evan Walsh. The world of Fadoon was created by your Dungeon Mom, Mike Farty, and exists in the D&D 5e universe, published by Wizards of the Coast. Episodes of Wonders and Blunders are edited by TV's Adam Clark. Thank you, Adam. We're an independent podcast supported by you, the listener, but we may take on the occasional ad to help cover our operating costs. If you'd like to support the show directly and monetarily, and get access to ad-free episodes and bonus content, head over to patreon.com/wonderandblunder. If you'd like to support the show, but can't spare the cash, that's totally fine. Follow us on social media at Wonder and Blunder, and be sure to rate the show 5 stars on your podcatcher of choice. Thank you for following us on this fantastic journey, and as always, keep being the best. We love you very much, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.